Hello, welcome again to a new episode of the KewCast. I'm John, and I'm joined again by my good pal, Eddie.
Here I am.
Eddie, how's it going, man?
Going good.
We spent a lot of prep on this podcast. I don't remember the last time I spent this much time outside of like the ball cannon and all of that kind of stuff, the nerdy stuff.
I hope the bang is worth the buck.
We'll see. We're going a different direction on this week's podcast. After we get through
Somebody owes me some overtime.
After we get through some of the normal stuff. We're talking about paddles, of course, but we've got some other stuff. So we're going to get, I don't have much latest news. We're going to cover one little thing there and then jump into paddles of the week. We got the new Nox paddles, or a couple of them, the new Engage X2, they're full foam, and then a little segment that we're going to compare the new durable grip paddles to each other, in particular the J2 CR Blue Ocean Grit Endurance Amazing Grit.
Is that what they're calling it?
No,
that just flows, man.
Right. It's the Blue Endurance Grit.
Not ocean.
No ocean in there. I just threw that in. Spitballing here. But we're going to compare that to some of the others out there, because I think this is the first week that customers will be receiving the Blue Endurance Grit. It's been on pre-order for a while now. We'll get into that. And then this one I like, Eddie. This was your idea. 3 paddles for anyone. So if we had to choose 3 paddles, I kind of did this today with Dirk. Yeah. And what would we bring those people if you don't know what their duper is, or irregardless of their duper, or their play style, or anything else, what 3 paddles would we give them in hopes that one of them would fit there?
I like that thought exercise.
Yes. And then finally, the one that took so long to prepare for, if pickleball pros were musical artists, who would they be? It took a long time to do this, but I had a lot of fun with it.
That didn't take me very long.
What? Just to say that, or?
No, just Debbie Gibson, straight down the line.
Debbie Gibson. All right.
Yes.
We know you remind us some obscure 80s band, 80s artist.
Easy peasy.
Did you pull in any Q&A this week?
I did.
Okay. We may have time to get to it.
All right.
All righty. Good, sir. Let's jump into... I don't really have any latest news. Do you have anything?
I'm going to pass on that.
Okay. I do know that the CRBN Barrage 1 and 3 shapes, they're elongated, classic elongated, and then the short handle elongated are both now available. They just dropped. So that's it. And that's it. That's our podcast for this week.
Checking out, man. Have a good one.
Let's jump into paddles of the week. Nox sent me 2 of their paddles, the X foams. We've got... Is that gold, Eddie?
It is.
Okay.
It's a very nice looking gold.
Yeah, subdued gold. And a wide body. So the golden one is what they're calling the JC6. JC after Jade Castillo, their pro, whose signature is on that. That one's $250, and the wide body is a same build, full foam also. That one is $240. They've got some hybrid shapes and some 14 millimeters. These are the only 2 that I have right now, and those are the ones we hit with today.
Is the shape the only difference?
Yes,
okay.
The shape is the only difference on these. They're both 16 millimeter. They're both full foam. I did not get an X-ray on these, so I'm not exactly sure what the build is. But looking at their advertisement, it sounds like your classic EPP center with an EVA band around it.
And they're both very head heavy.
You know, I forgot to... You put that in my head when I was hitting with it, and this one did feel like it on the court, but holding it here, I'm not so sure that it's... I mean, I feel like it's mid to upper teens, 115 to 118, but it's not that crazy. I don't know. We'll get back to you on that. To the listeners, we'll see.
I'm going to say higher than that.
Okay, all right. Well, maybe we'll have time to test it. They're odd dimensions. So that one looks like an elongated, but it's actually a hybrid length and a elongated width. So it's 16.375 inches long by 7.5 inches wide. It's a little bit smaller. They're leaving a little bit of room on the table there.
Let's take the lesser of all the dimensions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It is a 5.5 inch handle on that one, though. And then the Tempus, this wide body, they're also leaving a little bit of room on the table. This is similar dimensions to the ALW, or the New Franklin and the old Paddletech ALW. So it's 15.75 inches long, so under 16, and then 8 inches wide. So again, they're leaving a 1/4 inch on the table there. That's a 5.125 inch handle.
All right.
So 5 1/8 inch handle on that. Again, don't know exactly what the architecture is inside. It feels very much in the family of full foam paddles, that being probably EPP center core, expanded polypropylene, and an EVA band around it. Don't know if it's peninsula style. Don't know if it's fully floating. But we hit around with them just for. I've done a few games with them. You hit with them for a few minutes today. What are your thoughts on these, Eddie?
Boy, John, you can't argue with the performance. I was dropping these like crazy. The drives are really sharp.
Mm-hmm.
The feel is not to my liking. Some may like that very sort of stiff, kind of woodish feel. Remnants of the Z5.
Oh, really?
Came to my mind. Very, very stiff. But honestly, can't complain with the results.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I would put it stiff hollow. To me, Z5 and board sounds like stiff dents. So they're very hollow, and my perception, again, this is a subjective thing. Mm-hmm. And I like that feel profile. That's what the boomstick is. And I'd put that a similar feel to the boomstick, not as powerful, but definitely power paddles. And yeah, I agree that the grit on these is very legal again. So, it doesn't feel very legal. It doesn't feel super gritty, but that's what it takes to pass USAP, right? And so these are in fact, are they? No. Are there dual certification stamps on these? I think
yes.
Okay, they are dual certified. And they run, again, $250 for the golden one and $240 for the wide body. So not cheap. I think I might have a discount code with Knox. If not, I'll get that set up, probably a 10% standard thing. But yeah, I mean, I was excited to hear that Knox is coming into pickleball. They're huge in padel.
I had no idea.
Yeah, they're like one of the two biggest brands in padel. And I'm doubly excited that they didn't immediately go to a edgeless with throat holes design, because that's apparently what everybody from padel thinks a pickleball paddle should look like. They're like, you know what? We're gonna bring our amazing design into pickleball and blow their minds.
There's a future for it. They just haven't nailed the internals yet.
So, yeah, these play solid. I'm not mad at these at all. Do they have like a totally unique personality? No, they hit a lot like all the good full foam paddles on the market right now.
Actually, for me, John, they play different than just about any other foam paddle
really?
I've
Okay.
played with, as far as kind of that stiffness goes. I don't think it feels hollow like a boomstick at all.
Okay.
It feels very stiff to me.
Stiff and dense then.
Yeah.
All right.
And the performance is there, but for me, the feel characteristic is not to my personal preference.
Okay. Yeah, interesting. We have different impressions of the feel profile. I didn't notice. I mean, I only played a few games with these, and mostly with the JC6. They're hybrid / elongated. I did not notice I was missing much in terms of length, but yeah, it's just one of those things. Maybe they made it shorter because it is a little head heavy, and they were cutting down some of that swing weight in that regard. But
an interesting point.
Yeah, I don't know if they put that much thought into it, because the wide body is also shorter than it could be. So anyhow, just very preliminary thoughts on the new Knox paddles. I like them. I think they're good, and they certainly fill a niche, in terms of the feel profile, and they play well. Big sweet spots. I wouldn't say the spin is crazy, but adequate spin, and yeah, good first offerings from Knox. I'll be excited to see what they've got coming down the line.
Throat holes.
Throat holes and edgeless. All right, moving on to the new Engage. Engage is also going full foam. This is the X2. It is also dual certified, and it is $260.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and this Engage has always been a premium price. It does have a lifetime warranty, but if you're listening, somebody from Engage, or somebody knows, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I was reading kind of the fine print of the lifetime warranty, and it sounds like it's a one and done sort of thing. So you get one replacement with the lifetime. But it wasn't quite wasn't quite clear, and sometimes it says that on websites, and then they actually do honor multiple returns. Not that it's probably going to need it, but you never know. Like even the boomstick, it's also a full foam, but they've had issues with edge guards coming loose and all that. So I do have an X-ray of this one. I took this a couple days ago, and this is your classic EPP. Expanded polypropylene center, EVA band surrounding. You can see they did put some perimeter weighting tape. They actually called it out in their advertisements. That is a fiberglass bidirectional weave on the edges. You see, looks like tape, right? It is a honeycomb handle with edge foam. Looks like the edge foam is extending up all the way around the perimeter. So it's a kind of a 3-layer system, EPP center, EVA band. Outside of that, and then a sushi roll, expanding edge foam around that. That's what the X-ray shows anyway. Both Eric Oncins and Jessie Irvine, engaged as current pros, they both switched over to this from their older paddles. And yeah, you and I got to hit with it some today. Eddie, again, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, their website, John, says it's their most powerful paddle they've ever built. Explosive, controllable power.
Gage always goes a little ham with their
I wouldn't
advertisement.
use those words. This is one of the softest
It's very soft.
full foam paddles that I've played with.
Yeah. Soft and both in terms of feel as well as the ball doesn't come off very fast. It's an all-court paddle for sure.
Yeah, it's one of those full swings on third shot drops kinds of paddles.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of the paddles you and I have both come to play with a lot frequently lately, it's more of a choppy, shorter stroke to get those thirds over. I mean, serves with this, it's hard to overpower somebody with serves or drives with this paddle. It's just that soft. And that's great for some people.
Right.
For me, again, not my personal profile in terms of power delivery, volume of power.
Right.
But the feel is great. It's a very buttery feeling paddle, if I'm allowed to say that. Large sweet spot. It's very sort of muted in its feedback. But yeah, without the power, it's really not for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good word, Eddie. Muted. There's definitely some vibration damping going on inside of here. They said that's what the fiberglass on the edge is. Not so sure that that's what that's doing, but it is beneficial in the sense of adding to the twist weight and forgiveness of it. But I did feel like there's not many vibration. It is buttery. It has a smooth feel. It's on the denser, softer side of the feel wheel, And yeah, it's I'd put it probably in the middle of all court, maybe even on the low end of all court in terms of overall firepower. But I was having fun with it. It is nice occasionally. It's not my preferred paddle. I want a more offensive paddle, and that's what I'm used to. But it is nice to be able to swing a little more freely and not have to really focus so hard on getting the ball low over the net.
Did you feel like you were getting grip with this?
In terms of spin? Yeah, I didn't feel like the spin was anything exceptional or bad. It felt like it was standard peel play spin. Yeah?
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of nice, I think, in my opinion, to see a paddle not go with everybody else, and that is in the middle or the upper end of the power category, and put something out that's, more subdued.
Just call it a control paddle.
Yeah, you could
or
call
an
it
all-court paddle.
Yeah, I'd call it all-court.
Don't say explosive power.
Yeah. Explosive power and control. The best of two.
It's got a little bit of that Friday Aura vibe in terms of feedback.
Yes, and it does.
And that makes sense by its construction. But the power curve is much different.
For sure. We're just blasting through this, Eddie.
Let's go.
Let's move on to our next
Grit.
little segment. This is J2 CR Blue Grit versus the original J2 CR. I wanted to compare those two to kind of give people an idea on whether or not the new durable Blue Grit changes the feel of the paddle at all. And then comparing those to the 11624 Vapor Power, that's their hybrid shape. I want to compare apples to apples here. Spartus P1, which is also hybrid. And the new Chorus Coda HX, our hybrid shape, also Harmony Grit. So yeah, and shout out to Matthew, what is his last name? The guy that writes blog posts for UDEF and is a writer for Matthew Schwartz, thank you. A writer also for Pickleball Magazine. He gave me this idea. He's like, hey, John, I want to know this. Maybe you can talk about this on your pod. So thank you, Matthew. And yeah, this week, pickleball players, customers who have pre-ordered the Honolulu Blue Grit, the early ones are receiving the first batch. So it is currently, the J2CR Blue Grit is currently open for pre-order. That includes the original handle, which is 5.3 inches, and the extended handle, which is like 5.6 or so. Expected ship date on those, May 13th. The J6CR shape, the elongated shape, I don't have my hands on this yet, but that expected ship date is May 30th. And just FYI, this Blue Grit paddle is something he sent to me when he sent the same ones to UPAA to get approved. So that does not have the UPAA stamp. The only difference in this is cosmetic. It's the exact same build that will be hitting the market. So you and I are hitting with the production model, but this one has a graphic difference. It doesn't have the stamp on it.
And except for the grid, everything else is supposedly the same?
Yep. Yes, indeed. So that's why I feel comfortable talking about this. And this is the one I tested with the ball cannon for spin durability. It performed great, very similar to the 11624 Power 2 and the Spartus P1. The top tier spin, and so far the durability looks several times better than
that's amazing
traditional raw carbon fiber paddle.
Is it me, or does it visually appear that the application of grit is a little uneven?
It does, yeah. It's giving me a little bit of like the original Spartus P1 vibes, It looks like sugar-coated.
It does, but there's vertical striations in the grid itself.
Yep, I see those too. I don't know if that's going to be in all production models or this was an early batch or what, but didn't bother me.
No.
But yeah, I mean, maybe some people it would. All right, so first off, Eddie, let's talk about our experience with the Blue Endurance Grit compared to the original J2CR. We're using one that's particularly hollow, the original one. I know that some of the others came out more moderate in terms of the hollow, dense feel. So to me, this felt very similar to most of the newer production batches. And that is, it's a stiff hollow feel, but it's low. It's close to the center of the feel wheel there. It's not crazy stiff and hollow. It's more moderate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's what I have come to love and appreciate about this, is that it has that same feel profile.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Your J6 CR, if you're listening.
Yes. Well loved.
Yes. All right, good. So what are your thoughts on just comparing these two, first of all? This Blue Grit to the original Grit. Are you noticing any spin differences? Are you noticing any other feel differences?
The spin is undeniable.
Yeah.
On this. It's obvious that this is one of the elite paddles in terms of spin, grit, whatever you want to call it. It's up there in terms of very high friction, and that friction translates very well to the ball. The feel of these two paddles is different. I couldn't really get over the fact that this one felt so much different than the original J2CR. Yeah.
So just as to explain what Eddie's talking about here, I brought an older J2CR, one of the first batch that Honolulu sent me, and those did. This one in particular felt hollower than most of them after that. So this was an anomaly. I wouldn't say that there's a big. My overall takeaway here is I'm not feeling any difference between the Blue Grit application and the ones that are just raw carbon fiber. In terms of like the feel profile.
Okay.
Spin, yes, for sure. So what else are you going to say?
I would say the spin on this feels grittier than a brand new raw carbon fiber.
Yeah, for sure.
Honolulu.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah,
it's not just about durability. It starts off grittier.
Oh, for sure. This is a UPAA only certified paddle because the RZRT, the actual texture is too much for USAP standards, but the spin falls under the 2100 max, the direct spin testing for UPAA. I totally agree. Like I said, it looks like somebody just glued a bunch of sugar onto the face of this paddle, and it's got that.
Lick it, John. Lick it.
No, my hand's been on it too much to lick it, but it has. We're just giving memes of pickleball all kinds of good nuggets. It gives that nice tactile feeling with like. I'm trying to separate the placebo effect of reaching down in between points and feeling that crazy grit versus like some perceived extra spin that feeling of the grit is giving me. I'm sure that's happening a little bit, but I know for a fact that, comparing the spin results both with the radar gun of this compared to the raw carbon fiber, I was getting a couple hundred more RPM with this. This is up around the 2,500, 2,400 RPM versus the 2,300 RPM for the raw carbon fiber version of this with the radar gun. And then, the Canon gave me similarly high results. So I know that it's getting objectively more spin as well. And the thing I'm noticing about this, similar to the 11.624 and the Spartus, is that it gets really good kitchen spin too, the flick spin. So not just, the full swing serves drives from the baseline, but, when you're just slicing dinks and you're putting a little bit of topspin on dinks, it's a very friction-based surface. The ball just, even if it barely touches, with a light swing, it's grabbing the ball and spinning it more than other paddles are.
John, I think a more fair comparison versus that paddle would be to this paddle, right?
Okay.
Because the core is very similar.
It's the same.
The shape is obviously different,
right.
But otherwise, it's the same paddle. And visually and tactily, that one feels spinnier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't think it's the placebo effect.
No, but that being said, it's hard to go from this paddle to another one with traditional raw carbon fiber for the feel factor alone, because you're feeling the paddle. I feel the paddle face in between every point, and I'm like, man, I miss that crazy aggressive grit, So I have high hopes for this. I think it's going to be another popular offering from Honolulu. And I've talked about this background before. The owner of Honolulu used to be in the firearms business, and he made pistols and, God, I always forget it when I'm on the podcast. The thing you pull back to cock the gun.
The hammer.
The hammer had this same technology of the grit on it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and that's what they have experience doing something similar in a different industry, which I think that's important. They're not just coming at this
engineers
blind.
at heart.
Right.
And by trade.
Yeah.
We should go shooting sometime.
Okay, you and I?
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be fun.
Have you ever seen
have you ever seen the long handle version of that?
Of the Blue Grit?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I want to try that. I definitely want to try the J6.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a hybrid person anymore. I feel like I want something else besides the hybrid. When I'm hitting a hybrid.
The long handle.
Yeah, the long handle would be better.
I do love that J6 shape.
Yeah, J6 is great.
Right on.
All right, let's compare this now to the other durable grip paddles. So let's start with the 11.624. The Power 2 series. We hit directly with their Vapor, which is their hybrid shape, to compare apples to apples here. I would say that the 11.624 has a slightly different feel profile. I'd put both in the hollow stiff quadrant, but in different places within that quadrant. So the Honolulu, the J2CR, Blue Grit or not, the traditional raw carbon fiber, are hollow and stiff, but closer to the center, and especially on the hollow versus dense quadrant. It's almost in the middle of that. It still leans hollow, but it's closer to dense than as the 11.624. 11.624 is hollower and about the same stiffness, I'd say, as the Honolulu. The grit performs nearly identical to me, both the 11.624 hex grit as well as the Blue Grit from Honolulu. They feel the same. They don't look the same. Honolulu's is blue, but besides that blue tint, there's a bit similar feel and look and performance. Just elite spin. Both are more durable than raw carbon fiber, according to my tests. And I'm getting the same, like at the kitchen, I'm getting great spin with the 11624 as I was the Honolulu, and all around the court, great spin.
If I recall your testing, John, these are both really high performers in terms of at least initial durability.
Yeah, the top 3 performers were the Spartus, the 11624 Power 2, and the Honolulu.
Right.
They basically lost the Honolulu and the 11624 Power 2 lost no perceivable spin. Like it was within the margin of error.
That's 100 shots, right?
100 shots at 70 miles an hour. The P1, Spartus P1, did lose a little bit, but it started higher than any of the others, so it kind of brought it down in the same range after the experiment. So, any other comparisons you want to make between?
You're spot on as far as the field profile goes.
Okay.
The 11624 definitely on the stiffer feeling side. Feels like the ball is reacting faster off the face.
Yeah.
Whereas the J2, the feel is that you're holding onto the ball a little bit longer.
Okay.
But a very high performing paddle. I also really enjoy the wide body Pegasus version of this paddle for sweet spot and defense.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Now, how about compared to the Spartus P1?
Spartus does not feel as spinny to me. And definitely, would you say on the hollower side than even the other two?
No. Spartus to me is a very similar. It's heavier than the Honolulu, but similar in terms of the density to me as the Honolulu.
Maybe I'm translating some of the trampoline that I'm feeling off of this paddle versus the other two. It feels like there's more of that boinginess.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. But I'd still put this in the stiff hollow quadrant.
Okay.
They're all close to each other, but slightly different. It's funny. I'm getting really good spin with this. I wonder what it is about our form that's giving us different levels of spin. Like to me, the spin is the same with the Blue Grit and the Spartus Permagrit and the 11624 Hex Grit. All get similar levels of spin for me, or at least I can't perceive the differences on court. And it's the same with the kitchen, good spin there, and the baseline. For some reason, I feel like this one, my slice spin was best on the Spartus. And I don't know if that's a technique thing or this the friction component of this spin, but I was getting a lot of free points playing with this one, just returning a serve with slice. And the third shots were going into the net on the receivers, on the opponent's side. So, I just feel like the slice for some reason was elite on this, even more so than the others. But yeah, I mean, you can, when you wind up and brush up on the ball with a drive or a serve, you can hear the ball whistling. It's got so much spin. Even if it's not traveling that fast, the spin alone is just, it just, you can hear it. It's a lively ball.
So you would put this at the top of the spin.
Yeah.
From the three that we've talked about.
I mean,
so
subtly, like I said,
Okay.
maybe just perceiving things. It may not be reality, but I feel like the slice spin with this, I was able to get a little bit more action on the ball than the other two, but they're all so close. And they're all
top tier.
Top tier.
Yeah.
Top of the pack. I can't think of any other paddle that's legal that gets the same amount of spin, Like we're getting up close to the Diadem Hush levels of spin. And the Hush has that soft
yoga
face, the yoga mat face, right? So it's basically a ping pong paddle with a soft, and I think that got like 2,700 RPM, and these are getting like 2,400. So not far behind that, and that's a hugely legal paddle.
My perception is a little bit less than the other two in terms of spin generation.
Okay.
Again, very close.
Yep.
And frankly, to be number 3 in the entire universe of paddles is pretty significant.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
but more trampoline bounce on this paddle than the other two.
Okay, for you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Spartus is a weird one for me in terms of the feel. Sometimes I'm feeling one way about it, and others times something completely different. But yeah, I mean, like when I first started playing with this, it felt like the face. Like I know the face materials make it a little heavier, and that's why it's heavier stock. And I just felt like it felt a little more muted to me overall in terms of like the vibration frequencies. It feels like that face material was kind of absorbing some of the vibrations. I wasn't feeling them on my hand. I didn't feel as connected to the ball, which some people might think that's a better thing. I was coming from the boomstick, so I wanted to feel that connection more. But as I played with these more, this one in particular, this is a newer one that I was sent to test for spin, and this doesn't have that kind of heavier, muted feel. It's more hollow. I'd put it in that stiff hollow quadrant. But to you, you said it felt stiffer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it felt bouncier.
Bouncier.
That's what
Okay.
I was getting back.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, but great paddle. I had no issues adapting to it today, playing with the other two. So good stuff. Let's move on to the chorus Coda Harmony Grit. We played with the H-shaped or hybrid shape today. Yeah. This one is only USAP approved, and you can feel the texture difference. It feels like classic peel ply.
It does.
Nothing crazy grit like the other three. And, this is what I'm talking about. Like, switching over to this one, touching it in between points, I'm like, it doesn't have that crazy feeling grip. However, I did do spin tests on it. Did not get as crazy spin as the other three we just talked about, but it's still good spin, even for peel ply. I think it's up around 2,300 or even above. And so it's like 100 to 200 less than the other three, just in terms of my radar gun results. I do need to test the production models with my Canon. I tested a prototype, and it performed pretty well, if I remember correctly. I don't think it performed as good as the Spartus, the 11624, and the Blue Grit, but better than raw carbon fiber, somewhere in between those two. But that was the prototype. Maybe they changed something. I'll test the production models. But yeah, I'd say that this is, of the four paddles, this one has the most juice in terms of overall firepower. What do you think about that?
Maybe so. I don't know. That one's really hard. I would say it's probably up there with the Vapor in terms of power.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't thinking about the Vapor. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. I needed to hit with it more, but I remember hitting with all four yesterday and thinking that this had the most pop for sure. But yeah, maybe overall firepower, it's equal to the Vapor.
It's a very well balanced paddle. I would say it's very maneuverable in the hand. You can do a lot of things with this paddle. You can top spin it. You can slice it. It's got great feel, great feedback. I would say of all four paddles, this is probably the best feeling of the four.
Really? So if I remember correctly, there was the original Coda you didn't like at first until it broke in, right? But you feel like this one was on point.
I loaded it up with weight.
Okay.
7.5 grams per side, and that really kind of opened things up for me.
Did you hit with this one today?
No, I didn't.
Okay. All right. So right away you added MOI weight, boomstick style to it. Okay. And that kind of, to me, the field profile is poppier. The performance profile is poppier than the others. I'd say that like the 11624 Vapor Power 2 has a more balanced power pop profile. This one leans more pop than power. But yeah, similar overall levels to the Vapor Power 2 and a little step above the Spartus and the Honolulu.
What do you think? Stiff and hollow like the others?
Yeah, I go stiff and hollow. This one's stiffer than all of the other three. But yeah, maybe a little more hollow too. I need to hit around with it a little bit more if I'm recalling correctly. But yeah, it definitely feels hollower to me than the Honolulu and the Spartus. But in terms of hollowness compared to the 11624, similar.
All right.
Yeah.
So for you, John, how do you rank these four?
Now we're ranking them. Okay. For me personally.
Yeah.
Well, let's first rank them by price, and then we can rank them personally. The most expensive is a tie between the after code, tie between the 11624 Power 2 at $200 after code and the Spartus P1 at $198 after code. followed by the Chorus Coda, Harmony Grit, 180 after code, and then the Honolulu Blue Endurance Grit is 175.50 after code.
All right.
All right. So for my personal taste, let's get your take on this first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would take the Honolulu first.
Okay.
I think it's just an amazing, well-balanced paddle. I love the spin. I love the perception of spin. Like you're saying, you just want to touch that thing after every shot, and that gives you a lot of confidence. And I was playing very confidently with this paddle today. J6 has been a fan of mine for a long time, so it's an easy switchover from one to the other.
Yeah. All right.
Number 2 for me is the Chorus.
Okay. Wow.
Just overall playability, not so much for the surface. I think it would rank last in terms of just spin performance.
Yeah.
But in terms of playability, all-core performance, ability to do a lot of different things, with weight, this is my number 2.
Okay.
Number 3 goes to the Vapor. Just a very well-balanced, again, paddle. The spin is nuts on this thing. And I've come to love all of the 11.624 products, especially of late.
Yeah.
And then finally, the Spartus. The spin is there, no complaints. But for me, the playability is a little too incongruous with my style of play.
Gotcha. All right. All right. So my number 1, if we're only looking at the hybrid shapes that we played with today, and it's going to be a tie for me with the ones we played today between the Honolulu and the 11.624. I like the way the Honolulu played and spun better, I feel like, slightly, but it has that shorter handle, the 5.3-inch handle. Now, they do sell the elongated handles they're currently up for pre-sale, so I haven't hit with that yet. But the 11.624 shape and the hybrid to me is better than the shorter handle Honolulu. That being said, if we are comparing the shapes that we want to play with, our preferred shapes, if I could use that Honolulu in a J6 shape, I would pick that as my number 1, followed by the 11.624 Power 2 and Hirachi X shape, their elongated shape. My third is, oh man, that's a tough one. Another tie for me for third between the Chorus Coda and the Spartus P1. Again, if I could choose my shape, then I would go with the Chorus Coda elongated. I think that one would be more fun for me to play with than the Spartus P1 because that's hybrid. Now, I know that Spartus is coming out with the elongated shape in the P1. If that's the case, then I would switch those two. Spartus would be my third, and Chorus Coda would be my fourth.
John, that was a very diplomatic non-answer.
It's a nuanced answer.
Yes.
So again, my ranking: Honolulu, 11.624, Spartus, and then
All right.
Chorus.
Very
Yes.
good.
All right. Yeah, I think all these are going to be hits. These are some of the first to the market with. These are the first to the market with durable grits. There's going to be a whole bunch more coming, right? If somebody doesn't lay down the law with a patent. You know what I mean? All right, Eddie. Hey, we're moving pretty quick. We might actually get this
Not
done.
too bad.
I was thinking this is going to be a 2-hour podcast, but it may be right at an hour. We'll see.
So,
All right.
John, let's say Relish calls you up, or Pickler, or one of our local clubs here, and they say, "Hey, John, we've got a group of people coming to play, and we want you to help them out." And you don't know anything about them. You don't even know their level or anything like that.
Yeah.
But, John, hey, we only have space for you to bring 3 paddles.
Okay.
What 3 paddles, John, would you bring in hopes of maybe giving something to everybody that they're going to like?
I like it. Fun thought experiment, Eddie.
Yes. And then how did you come up with your 3?
Yeah. So basically we're asking, what are the elements of a paddle that cross-cut skill levels, age, gender, all those things, right? To me, I had to think about this in a couple of ways. So think about the metrics and the performance metrics of paddles that everybody always wants. That's spin, big sweet spot. Those are the 2 big ones, right? So those are a given in a paddle. It's not like you're going to somebody's going to be like, this paddle has too much spin.
Right.
Darn it. give me one with less spin in the small sweet spot. It's never going to happen. So to me, those are a given. We're going to, of the 3 paddles I'm choosing, I'm going to target ones that have the best spin.
I like that.
And the biggest sweet spot, right? So that's just going to be background noise at this point. So to me, what I'm looking at is what can any level player, any age player, any gender player, what's going to vary among everybody? Do you know what I mean? So to me, that's feel profile, whether, the feel wheel, whether or not it's stiff, soft, or hollow, dense. Also control versus power. That's another big one. Some people like a softer, more control-oriented paddle, others not. And then weight and balance.
Yep.
Some people like a lot of plow through and a more forgiving paddle, and others want something super quick in the hands, right? All right, so I'm going to give you, how about we go back and forth? I'll give you my first choice.
Sure.
And then you give me your first choice.
All right.
My first category is the forgiving all-court paddle, right? So the safe bet. So here I'm looking for something that's soft and dense or soft and hollow. The key being like softness, right? I think most people feel like a softer paddle gives a little bit more forgiveness, a little bit more control. And obviously a lower Q core, not something that's, in the power range. And particularly a lower pop. And that comes with the softness of the paddle, right? That's kind of parallel to the softness. So my pick here, Eddie, is the 6-0 Coral. I feel like, that is an all-court paddle. It's at the top end of all-court, close to that boundary with power. But the spin is there. It's got a good sweet spot. So those are key requirements, obviously. But yeah, that paddle, I feel like I've given it to a lot of people, and a lot of people have been happy with it. And the only people who haven't been happy with it are the ones that are like, I just need a more powerful paddle. It's great, but it's not for me because
fantastic paddle.
Yeah, it's a great paddle.
Absolutely.
And if I had to go with the budget-friendly option of that or something cheaper, I would say that the Friday Aura would be a good
Great choice.
soft option there.
Yep.
All right, Eddie, your first choice?
So, John, I was also looking at this formula in terms of like the diversity of people that are out there. And they're going to have preferences for, as you said, play characteristics, things like swing weight, but also size of paddle. There's going to be some people that are drawn to an elongated paddle versus a shorter wide body type paddle. And then again, you could have anything from kids to super athletes in there. And so strength of the player is something else to consider. And so my first choice for all around just power and control, nothing too off the scale in terms of power, but something anyone can dink with, drop with, but also hit some pretty dandy drives. The Friday came to mind. The Coral came to mind because that was my paddle of the year last year. Fantastic paddle. The Thrive is an up-and-comer for me. I need more time with it. I've already got several days with it, and it's...
Which one?
The, what is it called? The Ignite?
Ignite, yes. Yeah. I don't have it with me. Did you bring one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
This paddle is amazing. And with some more time, I think I would put this on my choice for kind of that everything, everyman paddle. But for now, I'm going to have to say once again, I sound like a broken record here, but the Honolulu.
Okay.
The J6 is great. The J2 might be a little bit more, a little bit of everything for everybody.
Yeah.
So we'll say that for now.
I like that you chose Honolulu because they're not in my overall list, and I really wanted them to be. And that's the heartbreak of just 3 paddles, Eddie. Like,
well,
there's got to be one in there that you just it's right. You're right on the fence with, but you have to.
But ask me in 2 weeks, John, and the Thrive might be that paddle.
I heard that's a ball stroker. Did you see all the memes? It's floating around.
If you say so. Okay.
All right.
Number 2.
My number 2 category is a softer power paddle. I feel like power paddles for most people that aren't like super dialed into like the feel profile, not only that they like what they like, but they're not quite sure how to explain that. They kind of lump it into 2 categories. It's either a stiff or a soft power paddle. They can feel the power, but some like it softer, some like it stiffer.
Do you engage?
It's power and control. But so the softer power paddle for the field player, one who still likes a little touch with their power paddle. So it has to be on the soft end of things, but I'm going to put it like mid between hollow and dense, like kind of that's the feel profile I'm looking for, right? Soft and then somewhere in the middle for hollow versus dense. Kew core needs to be in that power category, but not at the high end, at the lower end of the power category. So like I didn't pick this, but the Honolulu would be a great choice for this. So that's why I'm glad you picked it. So my pick for this, and the Honolulu is a little stiffer than Noe. My pick for this softer, feely type of power paddle is the Yola Pro 5. Yeah, I feel like, well, I know that a lot of people who have hit that have liked it, and the ones who didn't are like, you know what, I like this, but I feel like it's too soft, and I'm going to go back to the 4 instead. So that soft thing is what they didn't like about it, and I think a lot of people do like the soft thing. So, so that's why I chose the Yola Pro 4. Now, clearly, it's a $300 paddle. Right. So there are budget options. I'd say the more budget-friendly option to this would be the Spartus P1. Now, it's not as soft, but it's getting close to the center of that feel wheel. And I think that's, plus the durable grit on the Spartus P1, I feel like that's a viable option for people looking for this. And it fits right in that lower end of the power category.
Excellent choice. So my number 2 choice, John, thinking that our audience might be consisting of smaller people, slight of build. I think you need a paddle that's got a small handle, a big face, low swing weight, something easy to maneuver, not too intimidating for folks. 122 plus swing weight isn't going to cut it for some.
Right.
And so for that, I've got the Franklin.
Okay. ALW?
ALW, 16 millimeter. I think this is an easy-to-control paddle for most people.
Right.
It plays pretty well in the all-court category for me, as I recall. So nothing crazy juiced up in terms of power. But for folks, sleight of hand, I can almost get my entire hand around that handle. And I don't have large hands. I bet you could actually touch.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah,
I
there
can
you go.
almost go twice around it.
Really nice offering.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. You chose the lightweight option. I did not necessarily go there. So I think between us, our 6 paddles are going to have a good round.
Excellent.
All right, my last category, I'm calling Team Power Forward.
There you go.
Stiff hollow power paddle. Just something with a very high Q core. And most people who know me know that I've been maining the boomstick now for 5 months, Eddie. It's been 5 months.
Wow.
Yes.
All with the same paddle?
No, I have 4 different paddles. I've had, I think, 3 warranties and 1. Yeah. But I'll get into that. Remind me to talk about that in a second because I think that's important.
Yep.
So Selkirk boomstick is my pick here. I think I've seen a lot of people. I've seen them in the wild all the time. So clearly they're well liked. And everybody I've talked to who has tried one has liked it, and the only thing they didn't like about it, if they didn't like it, it was how stiff and hollow it was, right? That was a feel profile. So you can't argue that it's got maybe the biggest sweet spot of any paddle on the market, especially for its power level, But it's $333, so there are budget options. I would say a couple of options for that would be the 11624 Power 2. You're getting a drop in firepower, but not much, but it's more budget friendly. If you really want to go budget friendly, the enhanced MPP Turbo is something that I would recommend. $100, and you're getting a power paddle. Again, it's not quite as powerful as the boomstick, but it plays great, and it's $100. Boomstick warranty. Let me talk about that real quick. So yeah, I've warranted 3 of mine. The edge guard has come loose on 2 of them, and 1 had face cracks. Those are the 2 big culprits for warrantying. So normally I would be outraged for a $333 paddle to experience so many issues. But the Selkirk customer service has made it so easy. There's literally no break in your playing with the paddle. And they don't know it's me. I'm submitting this.
That's my question.
Yeah, I'm submitting this through their website and under John Williams, not JohnKew, right? And so, it's going through the traditional system. I'm not being flagged or anything. And it's I get a new paddle in a week and it's a freshie with fresh grit. And honestly, if I were a consumer, it wouldn't bother me. That being said, you need to know that this is an issue, right? If you're buying this and it would bother you to have to warranty these, then definitely don't get the boomstick right now, at least, because there's still issues with them. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Eddie, what's your last?
My last one is also we're solidly in the power category.
Okay. All right.
So we know that there's going to be people out there who just want to bash the ball in, and so we should have a paddle for them.
Right.
Right. So my runners up are the B&B Loco.
Okay.
Fantastic paddle, as is the boomstick. That's a runner up. The Enhance that you mentioned, and the Friday Aura Pro. I think is a really nice feeling.
That's your pick or the runner
That
up?
is not my pick.
Okay. All right.
My pick is the RPM Q2.
Hello. We didn't talk about this.
It is. Are we allowed to talk about it?
I mean, I'm not going to talk about it, but
John, I think that you've kind of hit it on the head with this paddle. For those people that like the boomstick but maybe feel like it's a little out of control, the RPM is everything that the boomstick is, but in my opinion, a little bit more forgiving, a little bit more predictable in terms of launch angle, in terms of just intuitive gameplay. I think that it does a lot of things right. If it had a durable surface,
there we go.
be onto something.
How can a paddle reviewer not produce a durable surface paddle?
Kind of idiot in this marketplace.
Right.
But as it is, the spin is really good.
Okay, yeah.
Whether it lasts or not,
Do you still have one, or do you just played with one briefly? Or,
No, I still have
Okay,
it. Yep.
gotcha. Yeah. All right. So you've
great.
got some experience with it.
Yeah.
And I'll just say, I'm not going to talk about the performance of it or whatever, but the reason, for those of you who are angry that it doesn't have durable grit, the reason I didn't do that is because I had insight into the whole durable grit phenomenon based on my relationship with other paddle companies. And I did not want to, I wouldn't go there. That would be violating their trust, and it would be just a bad thing for me to do. And there wasn't time for us to just develop it from scratch, right? I knew what they were doing. That made sense, but I'm not going to borrow their IP, right? So that's why I didn't go there.
Fair enough.
Okay.
And just to be perfectly clear, I think our audience knows this, but you've never once said to me, Eddie, you got to talk about the Q2.
Yeah.
Or make sure you bring this up in a future episode.
In fact, I was like, we're not going to talk about it on the podcast.
You pretty much discouraged it. This might be my last episode. But I think our audience knows I just tell it like it is, in my opinion. So.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, in fact, we hit some prototypes that you didn't like, and you told me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They sucked.
I wouldn't go that far.
Good stuff.
Okie dokie. Yes, that was a good segment, Eddie. Good idea.
Next time we revisit this question, it'll only be 2 paddles.
Oh, God. Got to make it harder and harder on me, Eddie.
Exactly.
Speaking of making it hard on us, next segment here.
I hate you for this.
So I had this epiphany in the gym. I usually have a lot of my ideas are like when I'm just out of my zone, like I'm not doing what I typically do, which these days is, sitting at the computer at the ball cannon, doing a podcast, that sort of thing. But, the gym, I can just let my brain flow freely. And I was like, you know who this pro looks like? It looked like this musician. So I was like, let's do a whole segment on that. If pickleball pros were musical artists, who would they be? We've got about, 20 pros here? Jeez. I came up with a list of the top pros.
This was probably the most difficult thing I've ever had to prepare for this show.
I will say, it's more than I expected it to be, more work than I expected it to be. So basically, not just how they look, but I wanted to get into some of the more nuanced stuff as well. Like, yes, visually, I wanted there to be some comparisons to the people we're comparing them to, but I wanted to be like the same vibe, the same presence, the same impact, and basically, let's see how far we can take this before it totally falls apart, Eddie. All right, let's go one by one. I'll name the pro, and we'll both give our picks. And we don't know what our picks are yet. Right?
No.
You don't know mine. I don't know yours.
I mean, generally kind of who is on my list. But
I had you send me the pros because I was going to do I wanted to like flash it on the screen for both of us to see. I'll flash it on the screen and post for our viewers to see. So if you're listening, definitely go check out the YouTube video for this, because this is going to be a highly visual thing as well. All right. So in no particular order, although I did save Ben and Annalie for last, but let's start with Noe Khlif.
Okay.
All right. Who do you think? Well, you go first, Eddie.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah.
I chose Bad Bunny.
Okay.
I chose Bad Bunny mostly because of the look, straight
right.
off the bat. But also, I mean, when I think of Khlif, I think of high energy, very technical, a little bit of the underdog, bad boy to him.
Okay.
And so, I mean, Bad Bunny seems like a perfect match for that particular personality style.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny. I have a slightly different perspective of Noe. You know, he's always like immaculately dressed. I remember when I was at Worlds, I was commentating on Grandstand Court, and Noe and Dylan were playing together, and they couldn't have been more different in appearance. Noe is like perfect polo collar, starch collar, and Dylan was in a SpongeBob SquarePants jersey, right? And I was like, those two are so different. So yeah, I see Noe. I think he's French. I don't know what his original heritage is, but probably raised in France.
I was thinking like Brazilian or something.
Maybe, who knows? But he's got kind of a calm demeanor. He's definitely very athletic and explosive, but he's just like focusing on the fundamentals. So, and there's also kind of a European flair to him.
Okay.
So I chose George Michael. George Michael of originally of Wham, he eventually branched off on his own, and I think Khlif is the George Michael because he's smooth, he's kind of stylish. George definitely stylish. He's got the 5 o'clock shadow going on all the time. Everything Noe does looks effortless, similar to George Michael, and he's just way more precise Noe is than he first appears. So kind of the style and presentation factor. That's why I'm comparing these two, the smooth execution of their songs and of their play. Not flashy, but very intentional, and this kind of subtle confidence instead of this overt kind of aggression and dominance. So there we go. George Michael.
I definitely see the laid back piece, and that transitions into like other things very quickly on court, right? Whether it's aggression or precision, or it goes from one to the other. Yeah. And that's a very interesting take.
All right. Good stuff. One down, Eddie.
Jade Kawomoto.
All right. I'll go first on this one. I've got Billie Eilish as Jade's doppelganger.
All right.
Not just in terms of like the way they look. They don't look exactly the same, obviously, but there's a little bit of resemblance there. So yeah, they're both kind of quiet, understated, almost unassuming, but there's a very sharp edge on Jade on the one hand, Billie on the other. They can both flip the switch when they need to.
All right.
So Jade you can't get a better defensive player than Jade. She absorbs everything, she stays composed, and then suddenly flips the switch and takes over. And I feel like there's some parallels there and Billie Eilish's music as well.
All right.
Yeah.
I like my choice. Remember, I think you pronounce it Sade. S-A-D-E?
Sade, yeah.
Yeah.
Sade, I can't remember exactly.
Both for the style as well as her most famous song, Smooth Operator. And that's Jade. Or is it Jade?
Love it.
But Sade is like just very like effortlessly cool.
Yeah,
right?
that's
and
true.
Smooth and like kind of understated, but technically impeccable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Jade, right? Smooth.
She is a smooth operator.
Are we going to sing today?
Good. I say what? We're going to sing?
We're going to sing?
Yes, then we have to sing one song from each of our picks. Everybody's tuning out right now. Just turn it off. All right. Eric Oncins. Eddie, pass it off to you.
I don't know a lot about Eric, but from what I have seen, he's got a lot of like fire.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of on-court flair, brings a lot of emotion to the court. Am I right about that?
Yep.
And that reminds me of Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars is like a performer as much as he is a musician.
Yeah.
And he does bring that very sort of deep-felt emotion to his performances.
I like it. Very good. My pick for Eric was actually Justin Timberlake, a young Justin Timberlake in his 20s. So I feel like they're both polished, both like really high talent ceiling, but you can tell there's a higher ceiling even more for Eric. I think honestly he's going to be like a top player in the next year or so. Mm-hmm. There's so much potential there. He's also, smooth, confident, but there's an emotional side too. And Justin Timberlake, did you ever see him on SNL?
Yeah.
He was hilarious.
Yes.
Like he's such a good sense of humor. consumer. So, he let that more free-flowing style side of him come out occasionally. It wasn't just all show, So I feel like there's an honesty for both of them that's coming out here. Yeah, and I feel like I'm seeing the early version of Erik Oncins. He's going to blow up in the same way that Justin Timberlake did during his career. Yeah.
The next one was fun.
I had a hard time. So, Lea Jansen.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a hard time. So by the way, Michelle's favorite pro player, Lea Jansen. She loves Lea so much. She likes that Leigh doesn't give a crap. She is who she is, and people give her grief for it. Yep, and she doesn't care, and she's multidimensional. It's not just kind of the scowling, angry Leigh that you sometimes see on court. She's very compassionate to other players, great friends with most of the pro scene. Really good commentator. You ever heard her commentate? Yeah. So, I wanted to pick somebody that wasn't one-dimensional, but had, kind of that more kind of, went between personalities, had more contemplative side, more analytical, and then also, a little edgy, angry side. So I chose Alanis Morissette.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so, she is kind of a classic 90s artist, and she had that vibe, I feel like. She was very smart, but very multidimensional, but she had a very angry, edgy side to her lyrics as well. So strong personality without being, performative. They just are who they are, both of them, and both very insightful.
I like that choice.
Yeah.
Excellent. I could use that for a couple of the other pros on the list.
Good stuff. All right, who'd you choose for Lea?
I chose Katy Perry.
Oh, okay.
And not for the way she looks, not for her songs, but Katy Perry is kind of semi-famous for the fact that she needs extreme order in her life, a little OCD.
Oh, is she?
Her clothes need to be color coordinated and hung in a certain way. She's admitted to freaking out when her normal routine is disturbed. And Lea, with her ever-expanding pre-serve routine.
Oh, that's right. Yes, there is that side to Leah.
Gave me the vibe of okay, got to have your routine, otherwise things are going to fall apart.
Okay.
And so that's a little mean, but
no,
that's kind of what I think of when I think of Lea, is just that it used to be like a 2-second thing, and now it feels like a 30-second.
She holds her hand up and crosses her body and everything. Yeah, right. I need to come up with that serve routine, because it's so helpful, right?
Not that one.
Not that one, but something that works. Whatever works for you, right? All right.
Where are we?
Move on. I got Gabe Tardio next. Why don't you go first on this one, Eddie?
So Gabe is a little deceptive. Comes across as sort of effortless, not trying, but all of a sudden he's winning points.
Yep.
Right? And that chill demeanor reminds me of Billie Eilish, who you already brought up.
Okay.
Billie is also on the younger side, as is Gabe, but kind of has that soft, whispery tone, but then, bam, just goes for it, right?
All right. No, I dig it. All right, so my pick for Gabe, this is going to be an obscure pick, but I chose Joey Ramone of the Ramones.
Okay.
Because both have this unassuming presence, but they're lethally effective in their respective genres, right? So there's basically, you see Joey up on stage, no wasted motion, and both have a very lean physique, and similar to Gabe's not jumping around. He's not doing the James Ignatovic hopping around. You won't see that from Gabe, but just direct, efficient output. And that's, punk for the Ramones. That's just as direct as you can get. There's no fluff. It is what it is. And, there's some trickery with Gabe for sure, but yeah, it's just like this unassuming presence, but man, just lethally effective.
John, we've talked about my kind of plain musical taste. I grew up in the 70s, so 70s rock was kind of
that's your thing.
My foundation of music.
Right.
But, what's yours?
Oh, so I grew.
You're all over the place.
I'm all over the place. I still am. Yeah, I grew up in a family of musicians, and I've been a lifelong fan of music, and I keep loving new music that comes out. So awesome. I don't, I've got a bunch of different tastes. If I was drumming to a song, then it's got to be something technical, like progressive rock or metal. But I'll listen to, some folk music when I'm in that mood, So I don't really have a favorite genre.
All right. Parris Todd?
Parris Todd. I had a little difficulty with her too, mostly because some of the artists I wanted to choose for her were slightly better for other women players. But Parris Todd I chose Debbie Harry, who was Blondie, in the group Blondie. And mostly because they're both very stylish. Debbie Harris basically defined the role of a rock/pop female lead in 70s and 80s, right? And very stylish, cool, effortless, effortless confidence both of them have, and very fashion forward and style aware. So, I feel like that fits the whole Parris Todd mindset, right?
I almost went Madonna on this one for the same reason, but I ended up going with Victoria Beckham.
Oh, okay.
Member of the Spice Girls. Do you remember which Spice Girl?
No, I do not. I don't even remember their names now.
Posh.
Posh, okay.
Posh Spice.
Posh
Same
Spice.
reason, very fashion forward.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say very girly?
Yeah. We could say. I'm sure we'll get some comments, right? It's just bound to happen.
But the Spice Girls also kind of integrated like sports and athleticism with fashion and music. And I kind of tie all that together with Parris as well.
Okay. Good stuff. Moving on. Fed Staksrud is our next pro player. Did you go first on the last one? Or no, you went last. So you go first on this one.
I picked John Mayer
Okay.
for this. John Mayer is a technical perfectionist. A little bit low-key. Not like screaming on stage or smashing guitars or anything, but very much a tactician when it comes to his music, his guitar, and has mastered really every aspect of his musicality so that when he's on stage, there's no thought process. It just happens.
Right.
And that's Fed. Nothing splashy, just going out there and executing.
I like it. Very good. Good pick. I chose Noel Gallagher from Oasis, and it was originally just a personality thing, because I'll talk about the personalities in a second. But after I pulled in...
Name one Oasis song.
Wonderwall.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Don't Look Back and Anger. Okay. Yeah. But, he popped into mind right away because I feel like both of them have a very similar personality. It's not so much looks, but more the personality style. So both have a ton of swagger. You ever watch Fed walk?
No.
He struts, man. Like the guy struts from one place to another. This kind of confidence to this point of confrontation, right? Fed is always confronting the referees, or other players, he won't take any crap from anybody, right? Noel is exactly the same way. And there's also kind of a simple, effective foundation to Oasis's music, right? As well as Fed's game. Clearly, he loves to play, the cat and mouse, but he's one of the best at the foundations, right? He modeled his game after Ben Johns, but he's developed his own style as well. On top of that, and there's also kind of the whole mind games plus confrontational personality plus extreme confidence that I feel like was all part of me linking Fed to Noel.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is more fun than I thought.
Good. All right. Who's our next one, Eddie?
Kate Fahey.
Kate Fahey. All right. So this one I chose Hayley Williams of Paramore. Do you remember Paramore?
No.
Yeah, they were like a 2000s
it.
band, right? And they did like Misery Business. That was one of their songs. Like Hayley was small but very fiery, redheaded, so kind of this competitive fire you can really feel in their music. And Kate obviously is very fiery, not over the top for Hayley, but it's right there under the surface. And when it comes out, it really matters in their music. But also there's the kind of the precision and power combo in both Paramore's music as well as Kate Fahey. Hayley's vocals are technical and emotional, and then Kate's game has the same kind of technical and emotional blend. So kind of clean mechanics with a bite. Who'd you choose, Eddie, for Kate Fahey?
This one was fun, and it's a song or an artist I had not listened to in a while, but revisiting it, really like, man, this lady can belt it out with passion and fire and brimstone, and that person is Janis Joplin.
Oh, okay.
Remember that song, Piece of My Heart?
Yes.
I mean, she brings it, she delivers it, and leaves it all on the stage, and in Kate's case, leaves it all on the court.
Yeah, that's
just raw and unfiltered.
Good comparison. All right, next, Eddie, we're talking about Andrei Daescu. If you were a musical artist, who would he be to you?
I'm going with Dave Grohl on this one.
Oh, okay. Didn't see that coming.
Isn't he a drummer?
He used to be the drummer for Nirvana. And
Okay,
now he's
he's Foo Fighters,
lead.
Nirvana. I mean, he's done so many things, but he's actually known outside of those performances as one of the nicest guys in rock and roll. I mean, he just elevates every band he's been with, and he can get people to collaborate.
Oh, I like that. Like that angle.
Yeah, and he prioritizes, I think, like Andrei does, chemistry and personality over himself.
Yep.
And when I saw that, I'm like, oh yeah, that's Andrei.
Yeah, I dig that. Yeah, I didn't see it at first, but yeah, when you bring up like the teamwork aspect and elevating everybody around him, yeah, that makes sense. My choice for Andrei is Sting. They have a similar look,
Yes.
first of all, for sure. But I kind of see Andrei's game as kind of clean and polished and mature, right? And I've always got that feel from Sting, going back to the Police, and then him as a solo artist. There's a little European sophistication, especially in Sting. Andrei's got that Eastern European vibe, for sure. But nothing feels overdone in Andrei's game or in Sting's music. It's not flashy, but there's some basic elements in there that are highly effective, and it's just where it needs to be, for any given circumstance, right? So understated, excellent.
I'm surprised you didn't pick an
Excellent.
Eastern European musician.
I was looking around, but all the Eastern European musicians I know are like kind of metal. I was thinking like System of a Down.
Oh, okay.
Sergio, is that the guy's name? But he's a little too wild and crazy for Andrei.
All right, Rachel Rohrabacher.
Yes, it's Rachel Rohrabacher. I would say I likened her to Dua Lipa. Do you know
Yes.
this artist?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. There's definitely a resemblance there, but both are kind of composed and confident. And when Rachel goes on offense, like her forehand volley, lethal. So it's clean and very powerful. And it's kind of a more assertive presence on the court, in the same way that Dua Lipa has in her music as well as her presence as well. So yeah, still polished. Both are polished, but with a notable bite.
Nice.
Yeah.
I chose a bitey one as well,
Okay.
and that is Joan Jett, a bit of a throwback.
I have Joan Jett in mind too, but not for Rachel.
Joan Jett
Love this.
is like an aggressive specialist, right?
Yeah.
Not interested in a slow build-up Sade kind of song.
Right.
She's going to boom,
Right.
go right to it, right? Hard hitting, and that's Rachel. When given the chance, like you said, she's going to try and put that ball in the ground.
Uh-huh. Or through your chest.
or through your chest. That is right.
All right, next, Eddie, CJ Klinger. Who'd you choose for him?
So CJ is kind of like a quiet genius, right?
Uh-huh.
And that's what I think of when I think of Mark Knopfler,
Oh,
the
okay.
Dire Straits.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the most technical guitar riffs of all time in those songs. Sultan of Swing, one of my favorite songs of all time. But Knopfler is also extremely quiet, very humble, but known as a craftsman and a technician. And lets his performances speak louder
Okay.
than anything he might say on camera or off.
Gotcha.
No ego there either. Just let the fingers roll.
Yeah. No, I love that. And I love that I went in a completely different direction than you. I got David Bowie as CJ Klinger's persona in the music world. So, first of all, like Ziggy Stardust, Starman, David Bowie is kind of out there. And I always feel like, CJ's kind of, he's doing his own thing. He's got his own rhythm. He's kind of sometimes spacey a little bit. So, and neither one of them fit the stereotype. So CJ's doesn't fit the stereotype of an athlete, and David Bowie doesn't fit the stereotype of a rock star, right? But both amazing at what they do, So CJ has a lot of flair too, right? Even though he's understated and kind of shy, there's a ton of flair there, a ton of feel, and just enough showmanship to make it all kind of tie together.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, next one.
Catherine
Parenteau.
Parenteau.
Yeah. What do you got, Eddie?
I've got Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson is kind of the girl next door, right? Very upbeat, approachable, friendly. And that's the vibe I get from Catherine, never having met her or spoken to her ever before. But you get the feeling that she's kind of fun, bubbly, and easy to hang out with.
Super nice person.
Yeah.
I've got Norah Jones for Catherine.
I could see that.
So calm, steady, incredibly reliable. Those are all Catherine's game. She's not flashy, but everything is very technically sound, and she just makes, she's just there for a partner, you know what I mean? And takes over the game when she needs to, but she just makes everything feel under control, and she just doesn't miss. And you go back to Nora's hits, and they don't miss either.
All right.
Next one, Eddie.
Chris Hayworth.
All right, I'll jump in first here. This one I had a hard time with.
Really?
I wanted to choose a country star because he's got that country vibe to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know country music that well. I actually reached out to my parents. They gave me a couple ideas. But I went with my original hunch here, Michael Bublé.
I'm not feeling that one.
Now, let me tell you why.
Okay.
So, very clean. Do you ever watch Chris walk around? He's got such a stately appearance, right? He's perfect posture, so clean, polished. Everything looks effortless, and I got kind of, he's always kind of like, he's never like overly aggressive. Right. Even though his balls are coming at you 200 miles an hour, it just looks like it's so easy for him. So, yeah, it's not flashy, but when he's locked in, it's just pure execution, and you're not going to stop it. So, technically elite, clean, upright, composed, and understated confidence.
All right.
Yeah, who do you got for Chris?
Chris is like the everyman to me. He looks like he just got off a shift at Home Depot to, play at these tournaments. He seems like like one of the nicest, hardworking guys out there. And so I put that in parallel with the boss, Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, okay.
Kind of the guy who's just a very common man, blue collar, just shows up and puts it out.
All right. Good stuff, Eddie. Next, we got Jessie Irvine. Who do you have for Jessie?
This one was hard, but I chose Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin.
Wow,
ChatGPT helped me with this. I'm like, give me somebody who's like has a swoopy style that's very powerful.
Okay.
And when you think about Led Zeppelin, I mean, that's what it is. It's like these riffs that kind of move up and down and then come in for the big hit.
All right.
And that's Jessie. I mean, she'll reset the ball on you, play the soft game, but when it comes time, she'll stick that arm out, swing it all the way around her body, and give you the put down.
She's got that stiff arm thing more than anybody else.
Yep. But those Led Zeppelin solos are just, they're melodic, but then ultimately aggressive, and that's Jessie.
I like it.
All right.
I like it. All right. So Jessie to me has like this calm, grounded appearance, especially like when she's sitting on the sidelines for Gabe. She's always giving him the stately nod, and just very calm. Relying on her game relies on a lot of fundamentals, but not too flashy. But yeah, takes an opportunity, like you said. There's always a clean, finished structure. So I compared her to Alicia Keys. And, Alicia has that same kind of calm presence. And, when her songs hit, they hit pretty hard.
All right.
Big H. I think we might have chose the same one.
This was too easy.
All right. I'll count down from 3 and we'll each say our ones. 3, 2, 1. Justin Bieber.
Yes.
All right. I mean, the looks very comparable, right?
Yeah.
But what do you got?
The swagger. The flashiness. The youthful, kind of in-your-face style.
Young breakout talent.
Yes.
For sure.
Yep.
Yep, tons of natural talent, a lot of upside. And then do you remember seeing Hayden like when he was just a child, basically?
Yeah.
And competing at the pro level, but it was like the 5-0 level.
The give no shits.
Yeah, and he always had that kind of attitude, but you could see early on he was going to be a problem, right? And he's not the biggest guy on the tour by any means, but he's one of the biggest problems for his opponents.
I think he's been bulking up lately.
Yeah,
he looks remarkably different.
Yeah, he's got some muscles going on now. Yeah, and now he's starting to go into this more complete. Probably, I think Zane Navratil said he has when Hayden's on, there's no better player, even Ben Johns. Like, if they're both on, he's going to bend the edge to Hayden. I don't know if I entirely agree, but...
You could say that about a lot of these top pros.
Yep. Good stuff. All right, we're coming down to the last few here, Eddie.
All right, Tyra Black.
Who went first last time?
Go for it.
I chose Beyonce for Tyra Black.
All right.
So elite skills, incredibly polished, styles off the hook, and it just on a different level athletically, Tyra is. Tyra's humble and composed, but when she turns it on, there's just nobody better. It's so dominant. It's really hard to match her dominance when she's on. And she just has this effortless excellence. And I think all those same things apply to Beyonce's music style,
Very
obviously.
Good choice.
Yeah.
I chose Alicia Keys for the same reason you chose Alicia Keys for Jessie.
Okay.
And that is she's got a very sort of grounded Zen style to her. But man, when it's time, she's a powerhouse. Absolutely composed power, very focused power. And that is Tyra.
I like it. J.W. Johnson is our next pick. Who'd you pick, Eddie?
I've got Jack Johnson for this one.
Oh.
Jack Johnson's music puts me to sleep. But it is technically precise. But it's very relaxed, unrushed. And if that's not JW, I don't know who is.
I like that. All right, I picked another obscure one for J-Dub. Joe Strummer. He was with The Clash. And if you can't picture him in your mind, this is why I wanted to have pictures of the artist. There's definitely a resemblance there, but again, I wanted to I feel like punk is a good genre for J-Dub because there's a direct attacking style. Like, there's nothing flashy about J-Dub's game, but man, you give him anything above the net or even, just slightly below the net, it's not coming back because he's the flick wizard, right? So no fluff, just tons of pressure and purpose and just a ton of edge without any kind of theatrics as well, right? So that's punk all day, right? It's not showy, but it's just real and sometimes brutal, right? Built on fundamentals, but it hits hard. All right, let's go to his sister now, Jorja.
I chose Janet Jackson for this one. Janet Jackson, off the stage, is very soft-spoken, very sweet. I mean, I think we all kind of know her voice. It's a lot like her brother's. But man, you put a mic in front of her, and she is absolutely relentless and fierce. And very sort of aggressive in a technical way. And that is Jorja. She's very sweet. Like, see her on the street, and it's all hugs and kisses. But then you don't want to be across the net from her.
She's scared of nobody. I love that. So I chose Joan Jett.
Okay.
Who did you choose Joan Jett for? I can't
Joan
remember.
Jett was for, was it Kate Fahey? No, Rachel.
Rachel Rohrabacher. Okay. Yeah. So to me, Georgia's given some Joan Jett vibes. Part of tons of edge, but no fluff, right? And Joan Jett's just sort of pure attitude that's kind of stripped down, right? Direct. And this is Georgia's on-court persona, right? Just doesn't overthink things, not scared of anybody. That's just Georgia's game. And there's kind of this fearless attacking mindset in Georgia's game. Also a very kind of compact power in Jorja, right? Wouldn't underestimate her power, but she's not the biggest, most athletic looking on the court, although she's very athletic. And just kind of this authentic toughness that doesn't come from, I want to be tough. It's just totally natural. Like you said, I wish I would, I think your pick is really good because it shows that dichotomy between your on-court and off-court persona. Like, she's super sweet and but man, don't mess with her on the court. There's nobody fiercer than Jorja.
Right.
Love it. Christian Alshon. I've got to take one for Christian. I'm so excited for this.
Go for it. I don't want to hold you back.
Wait till you see the picture because it all comes together. So Christian Alshon is Steve Perry from Journey. So, first of all, they look very similar. Their faces look very similar. But, don't stop believing. Christian has this kind of theatrical, dramatic flair on court, right? He feels things, and off court, even his videos he puts up on YouTube. He's not afraid to show some tears, when he loses. But theatrical in a good way to me. So there's a lot of flair, a lot of emotion, and a lot of main character energy also. And Christian Alshon, same as Steve Perry with Journey. Big moments, big presence, and when Perry hits. When the choruses come in, it lands, and same with Christian. When he takes over a point, if he's feeling elevated, he's basically unstoppable. So yeah, I think the flair for the drama and the physical resemblance. I'm going Steve Perry.
I kind of actually went in a similar direction in terms of like thought process, and I went with Axl Rose, Guns N' Roses.
Okay,
I mean, there's a maniacism there as well as unpredictability that you see from Christian from time to time, and they kind of thrive on that, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes that rubs people the wrong way. It's kind of a love-hate, right? And so I think that is Axl Rose, but also Christian.
I like that. All right, Eddie, who's next?
Anna Bright.
Anna Bright. You go first.
I'm going to go Gwen Stefani on this one. Bright personality, but high octane, kind of aggressive, in-your-face performance style. Anna Bright, Gwen Stefani.
Okay. So I went with somebody that has no physical resemblance, but to me, it's all personality and style. So Lady Gaga. Again, no physical resemblance, but Lady Gaga, super versatile, incredibly smart. I heard somewhere that she's got like genius level IQ, Lady Gaga. And I feel like Anna Bright is one of the smartest players on the tour, probably has a very high IQ also. And can do everything, both of them at a very high level. So there is flair there. There's intensity for sure. Anna brings that intensity on the court, and then you see her off court, and she's bubbly. She's engaging. She's doing everything right, and that's what it took for Lady Gaga to be like one of the best, most notable artists in the world. She can turn it on competitively. Anna Bright can, as well as during her day-to-day life as Lady Gaga did. So very multidimensional. They can both do everything, and both extremely smart people.
But she ain't no hollaback girl.
That's right. That's right. Okay. All right, the next one. This one was tough for me. Ben Johns. Ben Johns, yeah. You go first, Eddie.
Ever heard of Charlie Puth?
Who's the band, or was he in a band?
He's more of a songwriter, a composer. But if you watch his segment on Jimmy Fallon, where he just creates these incredible songs out of nothing, out of like ringing a bell, ringing a glass. That's a C sharp. Go up thirds from there and a fifth from there, and you got yourself, very technical.
Nice.
Very much like the perfect nerdy musician. And that's Ben. You would also, if you were walking down the street, not recognize Charlie Puth or Ben Johns from anybody because they're both so plain and uninteresting physically. How about you?
I had a hard time with Ben Johns because I wanted to go somebody like nerdy and highly technical. I was thinking like Neil Peart, the drummer of Rush.
Okay.
But Neil's when he was behind the drums, he was just one of the most aggressive, hard-hitting drummers out there. And that's not Ben's play style, right? So I was going through all these people that I wanted to bring in like technical metal but here's what I landed on. Mozart. I went classical, Eddie. So I feel like classical fit closest to where I wanted to go with Ben, and it's probably way overly dramatic to compare him to a musical genius, but I feel like Ben's about the closest we have to genius level pattern recognition on the court. And, he has this ability to make insanely difficult things look natural. And it does feel like he's operating just on a different level most of the times compared to his opponents. There's just a higher processing going on compared to everyone else. And if you had to describe one player on tour that had kind of a nerdy, playful brilliance, then I can't think of a better one than Ben Johns.
Amadeus.
Amadeus. I'm gonna give him some props here. I'm gonna go with Mozart.
All right. That's quite an honor.
All right.
I almost went Elvis Costello.
I like it.
For Ben Johns.
Here we go.
Okay. AL-Dubs.
ALW.
Go for it.
All right, I'm going Taylor Swift for Anna Leigh Waters. She's the face of music. Anna Leigh Waters is the face of the game and the face of an era. Anna Leigh Waters is 19 now. Is she 20 yet? I don't know, but she's going to be around for a long time as long as she doesn't get burned out. I don't think she will. Mm-hmm. And she already is one of the most dominant athletes in her field. And in her era. So Taylor Swift defines kind of this mainstream music right now. ALW does the same for pickleball, just undisputed center of attention. Also, ALW wins across every style, right? There's nothing she's not medaling in. She's triple crowning every tournament, almost every tournament. And Taylor moves flawlessly between country and pop and indie and synth and all these genres and dominates all of them. So I think there's a lot of...
Great choice.
A lot of parallels there, Eddie. Who'd you choose?
I went with the exact same thought process, but bring it back a generation. Queen Bee.
Okay.
Beyonce, absolute defining superstar for an entire generation, pretty much.
Okay.
Fearless, relentless, and just like Taylor Swift, multi-dimensional. Country and every other genre out there. So when you talk about a GOAT, I mean, that's Beyonce.
There we go. I like it. So we had some same picks, but they're all for different people except for Justin Bieber. That's funny. So I put in here one or two more picks not on this list. Did you choose any others?
I did not.
Okay, I've got a couple here.
Go for it.
Jaume Martinez-Vic is Prince. Right? Smaller frame, insanely quick, creative, flair, all about that. Travis Rettenmeyer, Chris Cornell.
Don't know that one.
Soundgarden, yeah. And smooth, polished, very intense underneath, soulful, little dangerous, rebellious. Will Howells. Do you know Will Howells? He's a younger guy, but he recently started growing a beard, and man, can he grow a beard. It's like he's just this wolf man of a character now. And he's got curly hair. He's got it short now. But if he grew his hair out and had the beard, he would be Claudio Sanchez from Coheed and Cambria. He looks like a even more crazy version of Slash, right? From Guns N' Roses. Remember the guitarist? Yep. Just like crazy hair everywhere. So those are some other thoughts I had.
How about yourself, John?
Who would I compare myself to as a musician? Why don't we do it for each other?
We'll do that next week. How about that? I got nothing for you.
Okay, you got nothing for me.
ZZ Top.
ZZ Top. Who would you be?
There's not a whole lot of Asian musicians out there.
It doesn't have to be Asian.
You're stuck with Psy.
Doesn't have to be Asian. All right, we'll do that next week.
Oh, man.
Good stuff. Let's move on, Eddie. Do we have time for some Q&A?
You tell me. You're the boss.
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll do a couple. This one from Miroslatki, 2195. We were talking last week about the Yola lawsuit and patents and that kind of thing. And our listener says, if a company spends money to develop a unique innovation, they clearly deserve to have that innovation protected for some reasonable period of time. I think we both agree with that. Mm-hmm. The copycats do nothing. They leapfrog and walk away with free money. And that's not fair. 6-0 innovated with diamond tough texture, then the leapfroggers jumped in. So where were they before 6-0 started investing in durable grit? Do you think we'll see any legal action from 6-0 for kind of pioneering that technology?
I mean, I know a little bit about that, but I won't get into details because I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it. But yeah, I mean, in general, I agree that if R&D is done, then yeah, they have the right to patent it and protect their IP. Yeah, it's just, the devil's in the details, and how it's done can either be beneficial to the people who made the patent, or it could be detrimental overall to the sport.
Right.
So we just need to be cognizant of that moving forward. But yeah, I think they're well within their right, anybody who's doing innovation, to patent that and make sure that there aren't just copycats who are making a quick buck.
Right. This one from longtime listener and commenter and questioner, Matty Rutt.
Okay.
Always good questions, too.
Yes, he's
Does your
insightful.
database show a difference in power across the different shapes when comparing paddle lines that offer the different shapes? Mm-hmm. While there are likely exceptions, I'd be curious to see if there was an overall trend, something like elongated paddles hit X% harder than their standard shape counterparts. Mm-hmm. You've tested so many paddles now, John, and just this very circumstance of shapes across a line. Mm-hmm. Any themes emerging in terms of power?
I should go back and recheck this. Originally, what I started seeing before I even got into my own Q core stuff, what the trend I was seeing with USAP and their PB core was a lot of the wide body versions were failing, and the hybrid and or elongated were not within the same model. You know what I mean? So I thought maybe I'll start finding the same thing. And I did originally using the Franklin Hollis ball, and I'm not seeing that trend so much. Now, I don't want to say it was entirely the Franklin Hollis ball. What I suspect is happening there is that the ball without holes, the Franklin ball, but that USAP uses, and they're shooting it at 60 miles an hour, it's impacting the core in a way that a real pickleball with holes can't, because it's harder, stiffer, and it's just penetrating the core much deeper, especially at 60 miles an hour. And I think when that happens on a wide body, there's more width for it to be more of a trampoline, and you're seeing some wide bodies fail. I think that might be one aspect to it, and what we talked about last week might be another aspect of wide bodies failing, at least at USAP, and that is the clamp style. Do you remember last week we talked about how the swing weight of the clamp is added to the swing weight of the paddle?
Yep.
And the clamp, the paddle can start seeing the clamp at about 6 inches away. The ball can start seeing the clamp at about 6 inches away. So when you shoot the paddle, it does not matter how it's clamped until you get about six inches to that clamp, and something about the vibration frequency and some other elements, some physical attributes, changes the velocity of the ball. And the short of it is that the more mass of the clamp, the faster the ball is coming off, because more mass, more output, right? So when it gets within that 6 inch range, the ball's coming off faster. And I think what's happening with USAP's clamp is that it's a big clamp, first of all, and with a shorter paddle, when you're testing down in the 6 inch plus range, 6 inches from the top and going down into the throat area, then I think some of them might be failing at that point because of the clamp. The clamp is adding to the outbound velocity, so it's not inherent in the paddle. Now, what I'm doing here, my Kew core scores, I'm not seeing much in terms of, I think it's pretty even between elongated, hybrid, and wide body in the same model. Like the wide bodies aren't failing at a higher rate, and it might be because of my different methodology, or there might be some things that I need to just analyze a little bit more. One last thing I want to say about this, Eddie, is I think there are some limitations with PB core and Q core and PEF. It's still the best thing we have going right now, but one of the things that's not picking up is the ability to take a longer paddle and get more leverage with that paddle, more distance from the grip. You know what I mean?
Sure.
There's the swing path that is corrected for in the PB core formula, but I don't think the correction is as accurate as what happens in real life. So I think with elongated paddles, I'm always able to get more with my serves and my drives and my overhead putaways than I am with the wide body equivalent, because I'm getting more leverage. I'm just able to get that top of the head, top of the paddle head to move much more fast, and I'm hitting the ball an inch from the top, and it's just, I'm getting a lot more output than
and
the
it's
wide
really
body.
easy to make that logical leap to say, oh, well, this is clearly a more powerful paddle than its wide body counterpart, when really it's the kind of the length of the lever.
Yeah, exactly.
And as you've observed, the pros are maximizing that length.
Yes, they often hit purposefully right next to the edge guard on top.
Right. One
Good
more question, John. Actually,
Yes,
this
sir.
is more of a comment, but maybe
Okay.
you have some thoughts about it. This is from Coach X Pickleball. Using a light paddle would be beneficial to younger players due to being easier on a developing body. But a lot of younger players are using heavier, more powerful paddles to compensate for their lack of strength. It would be better for them to be patient and work on their skill game instead of power. Otherwise, it might lead to injuries.
Yeah, I don't know what I think about that.
So for those of smaller stature, or statue, is heavier better than more maneuverable?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I see a lot of junior players playing at PPAs these days, and I'm not necessarily seeing a shorter, lighter paddle trend with them. They're often playing with the Perseus-shaped, Yolas, elongated Yolas. But they're playing just fine with them. So, I don't know necessarily if there is something that's damaging their growth as a pickleball
I see
player.
a lot of younger players using the kind of big, swoopy strokes.
Do you?
But I haven't taken notice of how they are performing at the kitchen.
Okay. Yeah. Whether or not, the easiest way to remove some of the swing weight and make the paddle lighter is to just choke up on the handle an inch. That takes 20 points of swing weight off. You know what I mean? So most of the pros are doing that these days, and I imagine, the younger players are leveraging that aspect of it too, just holding their grip a little higher on the handle.
I thought you were going to say just chop the top off.
It's basically chopping the bottom off, right?
Good stuff, John.
Yes, sir, Eddie. All
Fun
right.
episode.
Yeah, it was. That was a lot of work, but I think it'll be.
And Elton John did not come up even one time.
I thought it would be all Elton John all day long. Who knew? All right, Eddie. Thanks, man.
Thank you.